श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय नितिल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोक्षर बाबाजी महाराज की जय नितिल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय नितिल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वार्ग की जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जय श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय सर्व अभिष्ट विरत गिरिराज महाराज की जय श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंद की जय श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय श्री भक्ति देवी की जय श्री पूर्णमासी योग माय की जय गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय श्री whose day is it? It's श्री कालिया कृष्णदास की जय तृतीय श्रीवती रुबाब तिथि की जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय सारथ-दर्शिनी वृत्ति की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All right. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha Yang Pravrajantam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahakatara Ajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Bhinedustang Sarvabhuta Hridayang Munimanatosmi Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Shrinvatang Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vidhunoti Suhritsatam Nashta Prayeshvabhadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Haribo, Madhavi Didi, Dandavat Pranam, Raseshwari Mataji, and Indira Mataji. Haribo, everybody. So yesterday we read all of Akrūra's prayers and his meeting with Nanda Baba. So let's read this summary. Having received Kamsa's orders, noble-hearted Akrūra mounted his chariot and set off for Vrindavan. During his journey, he felt intense devotion for Krishna and contemplated, "What pious deeds, worship, and austerities have I done? Today I will see Lord Krishna, although I am a materialistic person. Today all my sinful reactions will be eradicated, and my birth will become worthwhile, since I will offer my obeisances to Krishna's lotus feet." Thinking thus, Akrūra reached the village at the time of sunset. He saw Krishna's footprints with distinguished marks of lotus, gold, etc. He became ecstatic and rolled in the dust. Akrūra then saw Krishna and Balaram going to milk the cows. He immediately fell at their feet like a rod. Krishna embraced Akrūra, and Balaram took him to their house and gave all hospitality. Nanda Maharaj asked him about the well-being of relatives at Mathura. After the evening meal, upon Krishna's inquiry, Akrūra revealed all of Kamsa's plans. So I think it ended before that, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Where did we end with in the Sārārtha-darśinī? So Nanda Maharaj asked, "Oh, this is the end of 38, yeah. Nanda Maharaj asked Akrūra, "O descendant of Dasharha, how are you maintaining yourselves while that merciless Kamsa remains alive? You are just like sheep under the care of a butcher. That cruel, self-serving Kamsa murdered the infants of his own sister in her presence, even as she cried in anguish. So why should we even ask about the well-being of you, his subjects?" Honored by Nanda Maharaj with these true and pleasing words of inquiry, Akrūra forgot the fatigue of his journey. Chapter 39, Akrūra's vision. Shri Shuka Uvacha Sukopavishta Paryanke Ramakrishna Rumanita Lebhe Manorathan Sarvan Patiyan Sachakaraha. Sorry, I have something stuck in my throat. Shukadev Goswami said, "Having been honored so much by Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, Akrūra, seated comfortably on a couch, felt that all the desires he had contemplated on the road were now fulfilled." Commentary. Sārārtha-darśinī, commentary by Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura. This chapter describes how the gopis, being very disturbed over Krishna's departure from Mathura, conversed among themselves. Akrūra saw Vaikuntha after submerging himself in the Yamuna. One second, I don't want you guys to have to hear my... Okay. Haribo, Gargrajji, Dandavat Pranam, and Pujamna Prabhu. Wait. I didn't check the mic also. Okay. Kem alabhyam bhagavati prasanne shri niketane tatapi tatpara rajan nahi vanchanti kinchana. My dear king, what is unattainable for one who has satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the shelter of the Goddess of Fortune? Even so, those who are dedicated to his devotional service never want anything from him. Commentary. Why did Akrūra only desire to see and touch Krishna and not desire to attain Brahman or Sayuja Mukti? This verse answers the question. If Krishna, who is the shelter of Lakshmi, the goddess of all wealth, who resides in the form of a golden lion on his chest, is pleased, if she is pleased, then what more could one desire? No, if Krishna, who is the shelter of Lakshmi, if he is pleased, then what more could one desire? Sayantanashanam kritva Bhagavan Devaki Sutta Suhritsu Vritam Kangsasya Prapaschanyachchikirshitam. After the evening meal, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, asked Akrūra how Kamsa was treating their dear relatives and friends, and what the king was planning to do. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Tata Somyagata Kachit Swagatam Badramastuva Api Swagyati Bandhunam Anamivam Anamayam. The Supreme Lord said, My dear gentle Uncle Akrūra, was your trip here comfortable? May all good fortune be yours. Are our well-wishing friends and our relatives, both close and distant, happy and in good health? Commentary. Krishna asked, O uncle, O gentle one, did you have a comfortable journey? Are all your relatives free from disease and the sadness of sinful reaction? And the sadness of sinful reaction. That's not a complete sentence. Are all your relatives free from disease and the sadness of sinful reactions? Okay, it should be a question there. Swa indicates well-wishing friends. The word gyati indicates relatives belonging to 7 future and past generations of the father's and mother's families. Gyatis are sapinda relatives, which means that they are so close that they offer pinda, oblations to the forefathers. Bandhu indicates those without direct kinship. Kimnu na kushalam priche edhamane kulamaye kangse matulanam nanga swanam nastat prajasucha. But my dear Akrūra, as long as King Kamsa, that disease of our family who goes by the name maternal uncle, as long as he is still prospering, why should I even bother to ask about the well-being of our family members and his other subjects? Krishna said, commentary, Krishna said, O Akrūra, it is not very appropriate to even ask about their well-being. How can I ask about the welfare of our relatives when Kamsa, the disease of our family who goes by the name maternal uncle, is still alive? Aho asmar abhur bhuri pitror vrijinamaryayo yaddeto putramaranam yadhetor bandhanam tayo. Just see how much suffering I have caused my offenseless parents. Because of me, their sons were killed, and they themselves imprisoned. Commentary. Krishna said, because of me, their son, they have suffered unhappiness. Though I am their son, I have cursed their sons to be killed. Dishtadya darshanam swanam mahyam va somya kangshitam sanjatam varnyatam varnyatang tata tavagamana karanam. By good fortune, we have today fulfilled our desire to see you, our dear relative. O gentle uncle, please tell us why you have come. Commentary. Krishna said, I have desired to see you for a long time. After seeing you, I have received a good reason for going to Mathura to kill Kamsa. Shri Shuka Uvacha Prishto Bhagavata Sarvam Varnayam Asamadhava Vairanu Bandham Yadushu Vasudeva Vadodyaman. Shukadev Goswami said, in response to the Supreme Lord's request, Akrūra, the descendant of Madhu, described the whole situation, including King Kamsa's enmity toward the Yadus and his attempt to murder Vasudeva. Commentary. Madhav here indicates Akrūra of the Madhu dynasty. Krishna asked him about the events in Mathura. Yat sandesho yadartam va dutta sampreshita swayam yaruktam naradenasya swajanmana kadundubhe. Akrūra relayed the message he had been sent to deliver. He also described Kamsa's real intentions and how Narad had informed Kamsa that Krishna had been born as the son of Vasudeva. Commentary. Akrūra described how he was sent to invite Krishna to the Dhanur-yagya so that he would be killed by Chanura. Shrutva Akrūra vacha Krishna balascha paraviraha prahasyanandam pitarang ragyadishtam vijagyatu. Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, the vanquisher of heroic opponents, laughed when they heard Akrūra's words. The lords then informed their father, Nanda Maharaj, of King Kamsa's orders. Commentary. The laughing, the prahasya of Krishna and Balaram indicated that Kamsa's plan of inviting them to Mathura would bring about Kamsa's own death. Krishna and Balaram told Nanda Maharaj about the king's invitation to attend the Dhanur-yagya, but they did not inform him about the more confidential matters. Gopam samadhishatsopi grihyatam sarvagorasa upayayani grinidvam yujyantam shakatani cha. Yasyam mas shvomadupurim dasyamo nripate rasan drakshyama sumahat parva yanti jana padakila evamaghosayat kshatra nanda gopa swagokule. Nanda Maharaj then issued orders to the cowherd men by having the village constable make the following announcements throughout Nanda's domain of Raj. Go collect all the available milk products. Bring valuable gifts and yoke your wagons. Tomorrow we shall go to Mathura, present our milk products to the king, and see a very great festival. The residents of all the outlying districts are also going. Commentary. Nanda, Sa, issued an order to the cowherd men. We will pay taxes to the king with ghee. Since all the residents of the districts surrounding the city are going, what do we have to worry about? Nanda then sent one of his security officers to inform everyone in Braj. Gopyastas tar upashrutya babhuvur vyatita bhrisham Ramakrishna purim netum Akrūram vrajamagatam. When the young gopis heard that Akrūra had come to Vraj to take Krishna and Balaram to the city, they became extremely distressed. Commentary. Then Tat, the famous gopis, whose life and soul was Krishna, heard that Akrūra had come to take Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. Kaschit tat kritahritapa shvasam lanas mukha shriya trangsa dukula valaya kesha grantyascha kaschana. Some gopis felt so pained at heart that their faces turned pale from their heavy breathing. Others were so anguished that their dresses, bracelets, and braids became loose. Commentary. The symptoms of the gopis' mental anguish, their hrit tapa, are described in 5 verses, verses 14 to 18. In this verse, Shukadev Goswami explains how the beautiful faces of the gopis headed by Bhadra paled due to sighing, which was caused by the torment in their heart during the news. The word srangsar, loosening, describes the sudden the word srangsar, loosening, describes the sudden withering of the limbs of Shamala and other Sakis, which caused their clothes and ornaments to slip off. Anyascha taranudhyana nivrita sheshavrittaya nabhyajanam imam lok atma lokam gata iva. Other gopis entirely stopped their sensory activities and became fixed in meditation on Krishna. They lost all awareness of the external world, just like those who attain the platform of self-realization. Commentary. This verse describes the prema of Chandravali and other gopis. Absorbed in meditation upon Krishna, these gopis' senses stopped functioning. They lost all connection with their bodies and the world around them. The gopis resembled persons who have realized the supersoul in the sense that they lost all awareness of their material bodies. The Vraj gopis were not impersonalists, however, because they were actually relishing the sweetest taste of pure love of Godhead. The taste of Krishna Prem is completely different from the bliss of Brahman, like gold compared to glass. Smarantyaschaparashorer anuragasmiterita hridi sprishas chitrapada kirasamumuhu striya. And still other young women fainted simply by remembering the words of Lord Shori, Krishna. These words, decorated with wonderful phrases and expressed with affectionate smiles, would deeply touch the young girls' hearts. Commentary. This verse describes the extremely intense prem of Radha and other Sakis. Let's read that again. And still other young women fainted simply by remembering the words of Lord Shori, Krishna. These words, decorated with wonderful phrases and expressed with affectionate smiles, would deeply touch the young girls' hearts. So this verse describes an extremely intense prem of Radha and other Sakis. Here, Shukadev Goswami indicates his inclination toward the gopis with the word Shore, which implies Krishna, who now thinks of himself as a Kshatriya, descendant of Shurasen, Shore. He wants to go away to Mathura. Radha and other gopis became bewildered on remembering Krishna's astonishing words and affectionate, gentle smiles, indicating his attraction for them. Remembering such statements as Naparayeham Niravadya Samyujam in chapter 32, verse 22, the gopis became completely baffled. The previously mentioned gopis were bewildered by their concentrated meditation on Krishna's form. These gopis, however, became totally bewildered simply by remembering Krishna's words. This shows the superiority of their prem. Hare Krishna, Sudevi Didi. Gatim tu lalitam cheshtam snegdaha savalokanam shokapahani narmani prodhama charitani cha. Chintayantyo mukundasya bhita viraha katara sameta sanghasha prochur ashrumukyo chutashaya. The gopis were frightened at the prospect of even the briefest separation from Lord Mukunda. So now, as they remembered his graceful gait, his pastimes, his affectionate smiling glances, his heroic deeds, and his joking words, which would relieve their distress, they were beside themselves with anxiety. They were beside themselves with anxiety at the thought of the great separation about to come. They gathered in groups and spoke to one another, their faces covered with tears, and their minds fully absorbed in Achyuta. Commentary. In this way, the Vraj-gopis, tossed by the waves of prem, spent the night in the grips of such sanchari bhavs as fainting, murcha. Gaining external consciousness through the strength of the sanchari bhav of anxiety over whether they would ever see Krishna again, the gopis eagerly gathered at dawn in great longing before Nanda's door. The gopis, who feared even a moment's separation from Krishna, were now devastated, thinking about the approaching lengthy separation. Meeting in different groups, they began conversing. The gopis' talks, which are in verses 19 to 31, expressing their love and separation, are known as the Viraha Gita. Okay, so now we're beginning the Viraha Gita. Shri Gopya Uchuhu goes up to what verse? 31. Shri Gopya Uchuhu Aho vidatas tavana kvachitaya Sangyoja maitra pranayena dehina Tangscha kritartan vyunangkshapartakam vikreditam ter bhakacheshtitam yata. The gopi said, O Providence, you have no mercy. You bring embodied creatures together in friendship and love, and then senselessly separate them before they fulfill their desires. This whimsical play of yours is like a child's game. Commentary. As in the case of meeting Krishna, the gopis could not find any reason for Krishna leaving them. So they began to criticize the Creator. O Creator, your act of injustice is astonishing. What is so unjust? You have not one drop of mercy. This is very unfair. How have you concluded this? You bring people together in friendship and intense mutual exchange of mind, life, and intellect, and then separate them again without fulfilling their desires for enjoyment. Neither is there any purpose served by this act of separation of yours. Thus, your whimsical acts is just like the play of a child. 1 second. Okay. Yastam padarsyata pradarsyas sai. Yastam pradarsyasita kuntalavritam mukunda vaktram sukapolamunnasam shoka panodasmitalesha sundaram karoshi paroksham asadute kritam. Having shown us Mukunda's face, framed by dark locks and beautified by his fine cheeks, raised nose, and gentle smiles, which eradicate all misery, you are now making that face invisible. This behavior of yours is not at all good. So Providence is saying, you should not compare me, the grandfather of everyone, to an inexperienced boy. Fearing such a response from the Creator, The gopi said, "You give sorrow to the souls of this world. Though you are the creator, you show us the beautiful smiling face of Mukunda, which removes all suffering, and then make it disappear. This is very bad." Krurastama krura samakyaya smanash chakshur hidattam harase batagyavat yenaikadeshe kidasarga shoshtavan tvadiyamadrakshma vayam madhudvisha. O Providence, though you come here with the name Akrūra, you are indeed cruel, for like a fool, you are taking away what you once gave us, those eyes with which we have seen even in one feature of Lord Madhudvisha's form, the perfection of your entire creation. Commentary. But, Providence might object, Akrūra is taking Krishna to Mathura, not I. The gopis reply, though you are cruel, Krura, you have come with the name of the opposite meaning, Akrūra. So Krura means cruel and Akrūra means not cruel. So no one except you could do such cruel work of taking away something you have given. You are taking away the same eyes which you gave us. This is just like a foolish person who, ignorant of piety and sin, takes away something he has previously given. Creator. But I have come to take Krishna, so why do you speak about your eyes? Gopis. In this case, by your taking away Krishna, we are being blinded, and thus you are taking away our eyes. What else will we look at with these eyes which have been which have seen the pinnacle of all beauty in the face and eyes of Madhusudan? Therefore, we will become blind. Nananda suno kshanabhanga sohrida samikshate na swakritatura bhata vihaya gehan swajanan sutan patingsh tadasyam adhopagatana priya. Alas, Nanda's son who breaks loving friendships in a second will not even look directly at us. Forcibly brought under his control, we have abandoned our homes, relatives, children, and husbands just to serve him, but he is always looking for new lovers. Commentary. The gopi said, alas, alas, Krishna, the sole object of our love and the cause of our life, is indifferent to us. Why are we blaming the Creator? How has he broken this very strong bond of love? Friendship broken in an instant cannot be real friendship. Though Krishna has brought us to the point of death, he does not even look at us. He has decided to go to Mathura for his own happiness, even though we will continuously cry and eventually die. To become Krishna's maidservants, we gave up our homes, husbands, and sons. But now he is giving us up and going away because he has new lovers and we have become useless. Thus, in this life, we will achieve nothing. For we have left our husbands and lost Krishna. And in the next life, we will suffer for having broken the laws of dharma. Sukam prabhata rajaniyamāshisha satya babhuvo puruyoshitam dhruvam yasang pravishtasya mukham vrajaspate pasyantyapangot kalita smitasvasavam. The dawn following this night will certainly be auspicious for the women of Mathura. All their hopes will now be fulfilled, for as the Lord of Vraj enters their city, they will be able to drink from his face the nectar of the smile emanating from the corners of his eyes. Commentary. The gopis said, this is so astonishing. While we have become unfortunate, the ladies of Mathura have become supremely fortunate. This night will have an auspicious morning for the women of Mathura, but an inauspiciousness one for the women of Vraj. The blessings given to them by the Brahmins or their long-standing aspirations have now been fulfilled, whereas ours have become frustrated. The women of Mathura will relish the intoxicating nectar of the smile emanating from the corners of Krishna's eyes, which intimate a variety of confidential rasas. Instantly, the women of Mathura will abandon their propriety. Instantly, the women of Mathura will abandon their propriety, shyness, and fear to accept these hints. Then, at a suitable time, unseen by others, they will directly and fully drink the nectar of Krishna's face. Tasam kundo madhumanju bhashitar grihita chitta paravan manasvapi katang punarya pratiyasyate bala gramya salajja smitavi brahmair brahman. O gopis, although our Mukunda is intelligent and very obedient to his parents, once he has fallen under the spell of the honey, the sweet words of the woman Mathura, and been enchanted by their alluring shy smiles, how will he ever return to us, unsophisticated village girls? Commentary. One gopi said, perhaps Krishna will stay there a few days, and then being attracted by our love, he will come back with his parents. In reply to this, they speak this verse. A second gopi replied, O foolish woman, you do not know the truth. Listen, though Krishna is obliged to his parents, being overwhelmed by the honey-sweet words, though he is obliged to his parents, being overwhelmed by the honey-sweet words of the women of Mathura and bewildered by their shy enchantments, how will he return to us? Why do you give useless hope to the minds of us village women who are devoid of beauty, arts, and strength? First gopi. That may be, but you should have faith that Krishna will return out of a sense of duty when he intelligently remembers his parents. Second gopi. But Krishna will become so bewildered by their shy smiles and amorous suggestions that he will forget all of that. Adyadruvam tatra drisho bhavishyate Sārārtha-darśinī sattvatam mahotsava Śrīramanam gunaspadam drakshyanti ye chadvani deki sutam. When the Dasharhas, Bhojas, Andakas, Vrishnis, and Sattvatas see the son of Devaki and Mathura, they will certainly enjoy a great festival for their eyes, as will all those who see him traveling along the road to the city. After all, he is the darling of the goddess of fortune and the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Commentary. A gopi said, today the people of Mathura will attain the bliss that the inhabitants of Vraj had. There will be a festival for the eyes of the Dasharhas, Bhojas, and others, and all who see Krishna traveling on the road. Maitar vidasya karunasya nama Akrūra ittetar ativa daruna yosav anashvasya sudukitam janam priyat priyam neshyati paramadvana. He who is doing this merciless deed should not be called Akrūra. He is so extremely cruel that without even trying to console the sorrowful residents of Vraj, he is taking away Krishna, who is more dear to us than life itself. Commentary. In this verse, the gopis curse Akrūra. It is not proper that such a person as this has the name Akrūra, which means not cruel, because he is extremely cruel. His name should be Krūra. He has not consoled even one of the Vrajavasis who are suffering on the brink of death by saying, I will bring back Krishna back and present him once again to you. This Akrūra will accrue the sin of murdering the people of Vraj. He is taking Krishna, who is more dear than our life, to a faraway place where we cannot go. Anardradhir esha samastito ratang tam anvami cha tarayanti durmada gopa anobhi stavirar upekshitam daivam chanodya pratikulami hate. Hard-hearted Krishna has already mounted the chariot, and now the foolish cowherds are hurrying after him in their bullock carts. Even the elders are saying nothing to stop him. Today, fate is working against us. Commentary. Just see how Akrūra has come to Vraj and spread his cruelty in all directions. The gopis express this in this verse. Though seeing us crying, the hard-hearted Krishna simply sits on the chariot. Sridham and other cowherd boys are following behind Krishna in a cart. But they have become very foolish because they are not aware that when Krishna does not return to Vraj, they will also die in separation. Even the elders do not stop him from going, and thus neglect their own lives. Today, fate has been unkind to us. If fate was acting in our favor, it would have produced some obstacle to his going. Thus, we can deduce that the inhabitants of Vraj will no longer live. One second. Nivarayama samupetamadhavam kim no karishyan kulavritta bandhava mukunda sangam nimishardhatustyajar taivena vidvangsitadina chetasam. Let us directly approach Madhav and stop him from going. What can our family elders and other relatives do to us? Now that fate is separating us from Mukunda, our hearts are already wretched, for we cannot bear to give up his association for even a fraction of a second. Commentary. After discussing everything thoroughly with one another, the gopis became emboldened and openly revealed the ecstasy swirling in their hearts. The gopis said, "Let us go right up to Krishna and pull at his clothes and hands and insist that he stay here with us. We will tell him, 'Our dear one, our exclusive darling of our lives, get down from the chariot, get down. Don't bring upon yourself the sinful reaction for murdering so many women.'" "But if we do that," said other gopis, "seeing the extreme boldness of us, who are girls of respectable families, the people will laugh at us, and the village elders will discover our secret love for Krishna and abandon us. Seeing all this, our friends will also reject us." "But what can they do to us?" replied one gopi. "Yes, our lives are already wretched now that Krishna is leaving. We have nothing to lose." "That's right. We will remain in the Vrindavan forest just like presiding goddesses, and then we can fulfill our true desire to stay with Krishna in the forest." "Yes, and even if the elders and our relatives punish us by beating us or locking us up, we can still live happily with the knowledge that Krishna is residing in our village. Some of our girlfriends who are not imprisoned will cleverly find a way to bring Krishna's prasadi pan and garlands, and then we can remain alive. But if Krishna is not stopped, we will certainly die. Yasanuraga lalita smita valgo mantra lila Lilavaloka parirambarasa goshtam nitasmana kshanamiva kshanadavinatang gopya katam. Oh, how do you do that? Gopya katam dvatitare matamo durantam. When he brought us to the assembly of the Ras dance, where we enjoyed his affectionate and charming smiles, his delightful secret talks, his playful glances, and his embraces, we passed many nights as if they were a single moment. O gopis, how can we possibly cross over the insurmountable darkness of his absence? Commentary. The gopi said, there are other reasons for stopping him also. During the Ras dance, we enjoyed his affectionate, playful smiles, attractive, intimate talks, Valgu mantra, and secret meetings. Without Krishna, how can we cross the dark ocean of separation, whose far shore cannot be seen? In the bliss of Krishna's company, 1,000 nights passed in a moment. But in the misery of his separation, each moment will feel like 1,000 ages. How will we find the strength to pass the many nights that now await us in the future? No problem. Yo nakshaye vrajamanantam saka parito gopar vishan kurarajas churita lakasrak venum kvanam smita kataksha nirikshanena chittam kshinottamum rite nukatam bhavema. How can we exist without Ananta's friend Krishna, who in the evening would return to Vraj in the company of the cowherd boys, his hair and garland powdered with the dust raised by the cow's hooves? As he played his flute, he would captivate our minds with his smiling, sidelong glances. Commentary. The gopi said, moreover, we will die this very evening. At the end of the day, Krishna, that friend of Balaram, would vibrate his flute while entering Vraj, gaze upon our breasts, and captivate our hearts with his sidelong glances. How will we live without Krishna? If we do not receive that glance this evening, how will we maintain our lives? Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Bruvana Viraha Evam Bruvana Virahatura Brishtam Vrajastriya Krishna Vishaktamanasa Visre Jalajam Rurudusmasu Swaram Govinda Damo Daramadaveti. Shukadev Goswami said, after speaking these words, the ladies of Vraj, who were so attached to Krishna, felt extremely agitated by their imminent separation from him. They all forgot shame and loudly cried out, O Govinda, O Damodar, O Madhav, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. Commentary. After lamenting and discussing in this way, the gopis gathered together to make Krishna get down from the chariot. However, due to the pain of separation, they could neither move a step nor utter clear words. O Govinda, please take all of us, our thousands of senses, such as our minds and eyes. They are going away in your association, so please be merciful and take them. Let our senses remain yoked to the bowl of your minds, and thus protect them, and do not neglect them. If our bodies are not suitable for meeting with you, and if you do not return to us, then right here we will give up our bodies. If you desire, you may incur the sin of murdering women, but don't kill that mother. If you desire, you may incur the sin of murdering women, But don't kill that mother of yours, the divine queen of Vraj, by whose love you even allowed yourself to be bound with ropes. Damodar. Yashoda will die for sure if you do not return within 2 days. Please do not take on the sin of matricide. The gopis expressed this train of thought by exclaiming, O Damodar. The gopis said, O Madhav, husband of Lakshmi Devi, you are not our husband, you are not our dhava, but you are our boyfriend. As our husband, you would not be at fault if you protected or destroyed us, because we would be your property. But we are others' property. Therefore, you should not allow yourself to commit the sin of destroying another's possessions. Strinam evam one second. Strinam evam rudantinam udite savitaryata akruraschodayang asa krita maitradiko ratam. But even as the gopis cried out in this way, Akrūra, having at sunrise performed his morning worship and other duties, began to drive the chariot. Commentary. The word strina, women, is in the genitive case to express disrespect. Akrūra disrespected the gopis by not comforting them and saying, O Mother Yashoda, please forgive my offense, because I am simply the servant of the king. I promise that with my own hand I will bring Krishna back to you. Some expert Rasik Vaishnavas say that because of this disrespect or offense, Akrūra was later separated from Krishna during the Samantaka jewel episode, driven unhappy to Dwarka, and forced to take up an ignoble residence in Varanasi. Completing his morning duties such as bathing, puja, and Sandhya rites, Akrūra mounted the chariot. Some authorities say that because Shukadeva Goswami was Sopi's lamentation at this time, he could not describe the lamentation of Yashoda. Other authorities say that Yashoda was repeatedly assured by Nanda, the cowherd men, and her peers among the Vraj Gopis that there was no need to worry because her son, who was very eager to see this festivity of the Dhanur Yagya, was going in the company of his father. They said, when the time comes, Nanda Baba will feed him, and then Krishna will sleep comfortably in his father's lap. After a day in Mathura, Krishna will return with his father. Why should we be in anxiety? Why should we be in anxiety? They're trying to comfort her. Gopastam anvasajanta nandadya shakatasta adayopadyanam bhuri kumbhan gorasampritan. Led by Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd men followed behind Lord Krishna in their wagons. The men brought along many, including clay pots filled with ghee and other milk products. Gopyascha daitam Krishnam anuvrajyanuranjita pratyadesh bhagavata shantyashchavatastire. With his glances, Lord Krishna somewhat pacified the gopis, and they also followed behind for some time. Then, hoping he would give them some instruction, they stood still. Commentary. Anuranjita means that Krishna made the gopis somewhat unhappy by his glances as he turned to face them while sitting on the chariot. Seeing the life heirs of his darlings about to leave their bodies, Krishna spoke to them with his affectionate glances. "Oh, my beloved girls, do not be sad. After satisfying these people, I will return to you." The gopis became happy as their legs became a little mobile. The gopis became happy, and as their legs became a little mobile, they began to follow the chariot along with the cowherd boys who were blissfully walking behind it. Hoping to receive some instruction from Krishna, the gopis suddenly stood still as Krishna had consoled them with his compassionate glances, the gopis desired that he do so with his words as well. Tastatapyatirviksha swaprasthane yaduttama anta santvayam asasa premar ayasya iti dottakai. As he departed, that best of the Yadus saw how the gopis were lamenting, and thus he consoled them by sending a messenger with this loveness: I will return. Commentary. Seeing the gopis burning in torment, that best of Yadus, inclined to protect the Yadus, consoled the gopis by sending through messengers thousands of assurances to increase their faith, that they would again regain full consciousness. Is added to Dottakai to indicate that messages were full of compassion. Krishna said, I will return quickly, just as your hearts are breaking out of our separation. Similarly, my heart is also breaking. I am dependent on you. When with the tongue of my mind, I lick the sweet liquor of your smiling sidelong glances, which are rarely found in all the three worlds, my life becomes fulfilled. If I do not return the day after tomorrow, then both you and I will lose our lives. But if I live because of a long lifespan or because of expectations of reunion, this life will be more painful than 1,000,000 deaths. Thus Krishna solaced the gopis with such words infused with the nectar of pure love. Swapremer. Yavara lakshate ketur yavadrenuratasya cha anuprastapitatmano lekhyani-vopalashita. Sending their minds after Krishna, the gopis stood as motionless as figures in a painting. They remained there as long as the flag atop the chariot was visible, and even until they could no longer see the dust raised by the chariot wheels. Commentary. As long as the flag on the chariots was still visible, the gopis sent their minds after their departing beloved, while they remained standing. To the people around them, the stunned gopis appeared like painted figures. Tanirasha nivavritur govinda vinivartane vishoka ahani ninyur gayantya priyacheshtitam. The gopis then turned back, without hope that Govinda would ever return to them. Full of sorrow, they began to spend their days and nights chanting about the pastimes of their beloved. Commentary. Giving up the hope that Govinda would turn around and come back to Vraj, the gopis left that spot. They gave up the idea that Krishna was just fooling them and would actually come back. They passed their days in exile. Bhavanapi samprapto Ramakrura yuto nripa rathena vayuvagena kalindim aganashinim. My dear king, the Supreme Lord Krishna, traveling as swiftly as the that chariots with Lord Balaram and Akrūra, arrived at the river Kalindi, which destroys all sins. It's a good place to stop. Let's stop here. Okay, so we'll read from verse 39 onwards tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Haribo Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhar Vikagiri Dhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupar Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupad Ashatarashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Maha-Bhagavat Śrīla Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Nityal Vishtam Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath, Sharda Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanantari, Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai, Nama Chaya Shri Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala, Gaura Mandala, Vraja Mandala, Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Bhradata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai, Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai, Shri Viraha Gita Ki Jai, Sarva Vraja Devi Gan Ki Jai, Shri Vrishabhanunandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani Ki Jai, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai, Sārārtha-darśinī Vritti Ki Jai, Shri Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavascha Krishna Bhakti Pratidevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpataru Vyashta Kripa Sindhu Vyayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranam everybody. See you all tomorrow for, this is this is the end of the Raja Lila. Now only we'll be reading about Mathura Lila and Dwarka Lila. Anyhow, all right. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe.